Oh! Therapy, I mean, where the fuck are you? Frustrating game. Frustrating game. Pardon my language. What a frustrating game. Big up to every one of you, man. Ugh! So frustrating. We're never going to get a half an hour like that. Never going to get a half an hour where Chelsea coaches and the Chelsea manager give us the game. Give us the game. It's super frustrating. The first half an hour is one of the most frustrating half an hour. I know that. Go and check out my tweets. Any of you, go and check out my tweets. I said you have to score and make it count when you're on top. If you don't do it, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. And then McTominay does what he does. It's not a penalty, but you know you're asking the referee to make a decision. And I called him a dickhead, and some people are getting their feelings hurt, telling me I'm abusing him. I get called a dickhead every minute. My neighbor says, what are you doing out to a dickhead? It's just a fucking turn of phrase. I don't know what's going on, people. The world has gone soft. I don't abuse him. I just called him a dickhead. I get called a dickhead all the time. Oh. But excuse my language, by the way. Excuse my language. Apologies. But how frustrating was that? And thank to heavens, thank the universe, thank God for Casermiro. What a warrior. Absolute warrior header there. Warrior header. Now, Ali, but we always take a point. We always take a point at the break. I'm sick of taking a point, especially when you get given the game. That half an hour, you get given the game. The game's there for you to take. And second half, our passing, Bruno's passing, Eriksen's passing. No composure on the ball whatsoever. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. Honestly. We should have won, but I'll take a point. I'm just gutted. We need a striker and another centre-back in January. And yeah, let's talk about the Varane injury as well. My heart goes out to him. I think every football fan's heart goes out to Varane. I really hope it's not too serious. I really hope it's not too serious. I genuinely hope and pray for him that it's not too serious. And he can make the World Cup. And he can make the World Cup. And he can come back for us, more importantly. Because we're going to miss him now. I told you the other night, we cannot play the way we played in that first half today and the way we played against Spurs for majority of that game with Casemiro, with either Maguire or Lindelof. We can't. It's impossible. We cannot play it. We can't. Big up Hassan Yusuf, man. It's because they share the dressing room with him, innit? So they can't go in on him. To me, Roy Keane, if Roy Keane was captain and a player did that, if Ronaldo did that when Roy Keane was captain, he would have punched him. Ronaldo would have 2 black eyes. I'm telling you, Ronaldo would have 2 black eyes. Exactly, Marcus. Mundo, how frustrating was that? How are you, first of all? How are the kids? Are they all right?
Yeah, good. Just put them to bed. So it's
how frustrating was that? How we're never going to get a gift like that. Graham Potter gave us a gift for 35 minutes. He gave us a gift and said, here, United, do it. He wrapped it up for us, put a little bow at the top and said, take the game. What the effing is wrong with Sancho? What is wrong with Sancho?
I think that if we sign a striker in January, that solves 2 positions because we'll have a striker and it means that you can then move Rashford over to the left. So that you'll have 2 people competing for that left side. So it's absolutely critical now. We need to buy a striker, 100%. Because we're creating opportunities, but I mean, Rashford had a couple of chances as well. He should have buried.
The second one there, he comes out with his legs open, just toe pocket between his legs, and the other one, or in that He already committed, right, Kepa. Take it around him. If he brings you down, it's a penalty. But anyway, let's go on to the positive because I've moaned. What an absolute header by Casermiro. What an absolute warrior that guy is. What a header. And you know what? We have to trust that he's good in the air. So we have to whip corners in for him. Target him, work on training. He's amazing in the air, Mundo. He's amazing in the air. But please, I called McTominay a dickhead and people are saying I'm abusing him, Mundo. Have the world gone soft or what?
First, I think it was a harsh penalty. But we can't argue it's not a penalty.
Mundo, he's not a kid. Mundo, he's not a kid, right?
Yeah.
He's an experienced player now. He's not a kid. He's in his mid-20s, right? So you're not a kid. This ain't your first or this ain't your 50th game. He's played 200 almost games now for United. Almost. You know what time it is in the game. You know what time it is in the game. So what do you not do? What do you not do, Mundo? What does experience tell you? Do not give the referee the decision to make. You don't give the referee a decision to make.
Exactly. But you know what? It's harsh because he's come onto the pitch. It's an intense game. That kind of stuff happens in the penalty box all the time. So whilst I want to be harsh and be critical, it's just one of those, isn't it? It's like,
but Mundo, we've seen it. More people give it, right? And Tom, welcome, Tom. More people give it, right? You know that it's going to be it's the most inconsistent thing in football. Some referees, like let's say every 20 games, maybe 5 referees will give that. You know what I mean? So you just don't do it. We're in good shape. The space that guy's running to, Casemiro's already there. Welcome to the streams, Tom. How frustrating are you? One of the most frustrating football games I've ever watched. Because that first half an hour, the whole game.
Oh, come on!
Was given to us.
I'm fed up with this now. It's the same old thing that we're talking about. Where is the striker, guys? Where is he? Because we've got one of them in the nick, pending bail, or has been released on bail, and we've got one of them who throws a hissy fit when he doesn't get any game time because he doesn't fit into the system. So, what does Ten Hag have to use? Can't use Martial because he's always injured.
Oh, fuck that dickhead! He can fuck off this one in January. I'll get rid of him in January.
Can't you Rashford? I mean, through the middle. We've said it before. He's not a striker. He doesn't have the physique to be a striker. He might make a run for 20, 30 yards in behind, but you don't always play these teams that are going to give you that opportunity in that space. He doesn't have the physicality to play the role either. And this is the point, and I already know Mundo's already said it, and I know you'll reiterate the same point as well, Nurin. We need this striker desperately. We've been crying out for the past 3 years to get a right winger, which we got in Anthony in the summer. We've been crying out for, I think it was even nearly 4 or 5 years, for a CDM, which we finally got in the summer with Casemiro. We need this striker more than anything because I'm sorry, you don't have anybody. That is the funniest thing about all of this. You literally don't even have an option right now. That is a natural striker who naturally has played that position from being 6, 7 years old in a Sunday League team or whatever, all the way up to the grassroots of football to now professional ranks. You don't have that player who can do that. And the game, honestly, it was Chelsea. I'm sorry, they were there for the taking in that first half. We should have gun-hoed them 3-4-0 easily. You go on, Rudy, go on. You want to make a point?
This just says, big up Omonski. Says the game was definitely there for the taking. Rashford needs to aim more. He just shoots. 100% agree with you.
Yeah,
Sancho, too hesitant, too frustrating players to watch. 100% spot on. I actually thought Rashford didn't do too bad. I thought he occupied the centre halves.
Yeah.
He did good to get, but the final pass to him.
There's just no end product. We absolutely blitzed Daniel James, for example, because he could score goals. We knew that with Daniel James. He had the pace in behind. He could make the runs. But the one thing in the final third, he was absolutely shocking. He was
Stephen
absolutely
H.
shocking.
I would have killed him if he did that. You see him? He headbutts. Give it a headbutts, bloody Casermiro.
Can we just say one thing though with Casemiro? Listen, people talk about that he was brought in to do the CDM role. I'm seeing a lot of attacking play from him in these last couple of games. The Everton game I thought was outstanding, but I thought today was wow. You have a world elite player at your hands. But like we say with all these players, when they have a bit of form, what ends up happening at the end of it all? And let's not jinx it or curse it. Touch wood, as I touch my chest of drawers right now. Let's not jinx it, because you know what'll happen next week. Casemiro's out for 3-4 weeks. He's pulled a calf. He's pulled his hamstring. Training drills, fitness. We all know this sort of thing happens. But in that first half, I'm sorry, these last couple of games have been so frustrating. Even when we've won games, they've been so frustrating because we've had so many chances in games to just kill it off so easily. 3-4, maybe even 5-0 in some of these games. Spurs game, I thought, was dominating. That first half, my God. Just how Brentford was against us in that 36 minutes, that should have been us easily, comfortably 4-0. But the same point, this striker needs to come. And I don't want to hear we're planning for the summer. I don't want to hear it now. Because if you want to get at least a sniff of top 4, because I already know with some of these other clubs, they ain't taking risks. They will invest in January if it means that they get the Champions League. They will take that risk of not having hardly any investment in the summer if it means that they make the Champions League because they invest in January. There is options out there to go and get. If you do your right recruitment right, which of course we know Man United don't, but Eric Ten Hag will have a player out there that he will look at and he thinks, you know what, I fancy a bit of him. I'll try and develop him. But I will go to the same point. If we are going to sign this centre forward, I don't just want to look at somebody's stats and see 20, 30 goals plus this season. I don't just want to see that. I don't think we just need a goal scorer. Because we've said it before where, we just need somebody to put the ball in the back of the net. We need somebody who's actually going to be productive. Yeah, hold the ball up, play through the lines. You need the complete forward. And yet it's very hard to find that player who is complete.
To be fair to him though, listen, Tom, to be fair, Sancho, Anthony,
yeah, Sancho, yeah.
Bruno,
they're building something. I can see that.
Bruno and Ericsson were wasteful. They were wasteful. They didn't. He only got. Listen, most strikers in other teams, will get 4 or 5 big chances. We only create 1 or 2, and then we need our strikers to feed up the scraps, and that's including Ronaldo as well. But Mundo, Varane. Did Ten Hag say anything? Have you watched Ten Hag? What did he say anything about? Ten Hag just said here. Big up Hassan Yusuf, by the way. Journalists United Real Therapy. Ten Hag, I have to make big compliments to my team. The fight back with a 4th game in 10 days. You see the spirit. I know we were tired. Second half, we tired. 100% we were tired in the second half. We were so tired. Guys, the cats are fighting with other cats. I need to go and check on them. I need to check the cats on them. I need to check nobody's ravishing my cats. 1 minute.
Yeah, go on. Anyway, I'll put a question to you then, Mundo. What are you thinking about this striker situation then? What do you think to this?
No, I agree with you 100%, Tom. I think we need, because people say, oh, well, you've got a striker, you've got that guy, you've got Ronaldo, but Ronaldo's the kind of guy who finishes off the dinner. You know, he's the kind of guy who feeds on the scraps. But as you said, our team is more than that now. We need a striker who's in the game, involved in the game, knits the team together up front. I don't think Ronaldo gives us that. So I want to see us buy a striker that, because I don't think we need a 30-plus goal season striker. I think we need if you could get someone who can get you 20-odd goals a season, but is able to knit the team together, because I expect our wide players to contribute with goals as well. Then I'd rather that than a tapping merchant that gets you 30 goals, because I don't think our team's built that way. Excuse me, towards building up play towards one player. And Martial, if he stayed fit, would be that guy. But he can't keep fit.
Can't keep it. I think one of the points that I saw anyway was I think one of the greatest front threes that I've ever seen. That honestly, you can put them in any game and they blitz you when they work together and they're in sync. Was Firmino, Salah, and Mane, because those three on their day in that 2 to 3 year period where Liverpool they could blow you away for 6 in a game. You could put 3 goals in the back of the net in 10 minutes. That was how integral they were to that team. But in a way, Firmino was the glue that brought Mane and Salah into the game because, like we already agreed, he wasn't the 30 plus goal striker, like such as a Haaland would be maybe for Manchester City this season, like a Harry Kane is for Spurs every odd season. But he's the glue that brings all the pieces together. Martial is that player who just he's got this. He's not an out and out goal scorer, but he's got a creative side to him, and it's I believe in personalities in your traits and in how you play football. And yeah, if you want to impose your personality into a game, show us what you've got. We've seen what Marcus Rashford has at the striker position for 5-6 years now, and it's nothing in the make of a number 9. It's not. It's a wide left player, like in so many ways. Martial was that player, but over the years he's been developed to play the role of a number 9. And then people are saying, "Well, which is it? Is he a wide left player? Is he a number 9? Is he a 10? What the hell is it?" You've played him in that many positions. I think you've confused the player of what his actual role is, even in a game. So if we're going down the model of you need a player to link it all together, because as we've said, this isn't a team of individuals that we're trying to build. This is a team. And a team and a system is built around 11 players, including the goalkeeper. It's not built around one player like you need with Cristiano Ronaldo. So if you want to go down this model and everything, listen, there's so many young, brilliant strikers in the world that you could go and get. I thought Benjamin Sesko, for me, when we were linked with him in the summer, I thought 19 years old, the profile, it just suited the regime and the progress that we're trying to make in a young, developing team to then go on to something. It just suited the model of it and the connection to the Austrian market, where so many good young players have come through that sort of system and the Red Bull ranks as well. But I think the crucial thing in all of this is this number 9 has to come in January. You can't hold on. I'm sorry, John Murtaugh, if you're listening, or Darren Fletcher, whoever, you cannot hold off 6 months, 4 to 6 months to go and get a player in the summer. If it's a player that everybody's going to enjoy and it's a proper player who is the perfect profile, I think fans can make do till the end of the season if it's the perfect player. But if you're going to piss around all summer again, like you did, going down a blind alley for Frankie de Jong, John Murtaugh went in a whole piss up around Europe. He went to Barcelona 3-4 times, couldn't get a deal over the line. He went to Turin in Italy and he couldn't get a deal over the line for Rabiot. He then was panicking and scrimping around going to Madrid to get Casermiro to the ends and then go to Amsterdam to finalise a deal for Anthony. He basically went around all of Europe, pissed about and wasted so much time and so much money that you could have easily invested in another player, for example, in January, off of all these other deals.
Tom, listen, we know the way we're run. I think everybody understands that we're not run like a flipping football club.
No,
we're not. Here going strong on the people who are missing chances. To me, how does Anthony miss that? It was harder to miss. It was harder to not hit the target. I'm telling you, it was harder to not hit the target from there. Tonight, first half, Rashford 2 big chances. Anthony 1 against 1. You have to score goals in such one because in top games 3 chances is massive. You have to score. And it's true. It's true. But Mundo, we know how our club is run. To me, Garnacho should have come on instead of Alanga today. We need somebody to take. I know he's inexperienced, Mundo. But we needed him to come on just to take people on. Just to relieve. He's better than Alanga taking people on.
I know, but Alanga gives you more defensively. And I think that's what the manager's probably thinking. He wants.
But we've already got Fred, Scott McTominay and all of those guys. Let those guys do the defending.
Yeah, but he's all about the press, isn't he? And in the second half, it was press versus press. Because Chelsea started to press us more second half, which is why Eriksen and not as much. Eriksen became a bit of a wasteful, but I think Bruno became really wasteful in the second half because he was being rushed into making decisions rather than just remain calm and take that extra second or whatever. Chelsea put a higher press on us, so the two teams are pressing, and I think the manager probably thought, you know what, Elanga's direct, he can run, and we can also maintain the press. So I kind of get it why he probably thought Garnacho, it wasn't right. This wasn't the right moment to introduce Garnacho. You bring Garnacho when you're winning 2-3 now. And but in a tight game like this, I kind of understand his thinking behind that. But with the with the striker thing, I mean, Man United in modern times, our best strike force was Tevez, Ronaldo, and Rooney. None of them were out and out strikers, but they banged in goals left, right, and centre. And someone's put in the comments about Andy Cole as well. Andy Cole, there's a side of his game that was vastly underrated. He wasn't just a tapping merchant. That guy, he could link up play.
He changed his game completely when he came to United.
He could link up play. He could score from outside the box.
One of the best turns in football. One of the best turns when you got too tight to him.
He got tight to him. He could turn you. He could run the channels. He was a good all round footballer, and that's what we need at Man United. We need somebody who can play that position, who's a good all round footballer, who will complement the team, knit the team together, bring the other players into the game, and contribute at least 20 goals. And
Mark Hughes, window. I said it last night. Somebody asked me, who will I bring into this team? I said Mark Hughes. That's what I said. Mark Hughes, because he would hold up the ball and bring our wingers into play, bring the midfield into play.
Well, Ajax had Haller, didn't they? Ajax had Haller, and before him they had Tadic. And I know Tadic was a converted winger, but he was an intelligent player. He could hold up the ball and
he had the football IQ. Yeah,
exactly.
Listen, at the end of the day, Ten Hag talking about Varane saying it's difficult to say. Yeah, of course, because 24 hours didn't help because they have to have a scan. Do you guys think it was an ankle or do you think it was a groin? I think it might be the groin.
Wait, what was that about?
Varane. No, it's his knee.
It's his knee, yeah.
Yeah. He jarred his knee. He's like he caught it when he stood landing in the turf. His knee kind of straightened. It was one of those.
But sometimes he looks worse than you know what I mean. Sometimes,
yeah.
Feels. So I hope he comes back. But big up Hassan Yusuf. It is 24 hours. You're gonna have to wait. Eric's his history is not his favour, but since I've been here, he's been in incredible shape. He's done incredible in the games. Honestly, Mundo, I'll ask you the question, both you and Tom. I don't personally believe, me 100%, we can ever play. The only guy we can ever play that type of football is Varane fucking Cologne. Somebody who's quick, somebody who's good at reading a play, somebody who's good in the air. We can't play that aggressive style we played in that first half. And the way we played the vast majority of the game against Spurs with Lindelof or fucking Maguire. Please change my mind if I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Because I do not believe you can play that front foot aggressive football with those two guys. You can't
because they've not been brought up in the philosophy of European football. These players have been brought into the mould of Portuguese football, which is what? Slow pace build up. That's where Lindelof's, playing career originated from at Benfica. Maguire has always been an English international player who's been brought up with the English roots of football, the Championship, then making it to the Premier League. So this is what they know. That's all that they know. They've not been if one of those players went abroad, I tell you now, they would get absolutely rinsed. If you put Maguire in, I don't care if you put him in Madrid or if you put him in Real Madrid's team, you put him in Rayo Vallecano's team, he would get absolutely rinsed. Because he doesn't know the coaching philosophies of European football. And these European coaches, they come with
while we're here, can we wish
different
Saeed
things.
Happy birthday? Yeah, Saeed's birthday today. And it must have been a frustrating one to watch for him. But big up Saeed. Check out Saeed TV, people. He's on a road to 100K. Happy birthday, Saeed, man. Big up to him. To me,
happy birthday, bro.
Every aspect of that, you know what? Every aspect of that game was frustrating, Mundo. Every aspect of it. And Tom and Mundo, every aspect of that game, honestly, that half an hour, we're never going to get that much of the game and space. Obviously, we played fantastically. Their two forwards couldn't get in the game. We pinned their fullbacks there, their wing-backs back, took them out of the game. We took them out of the game because we were so dominant in the midfield and the way we pressed. But it was just, like Mundo said, the likes of Wayne Rooney, Ryan Giggs in games like that, bang, even fucking Nani.
But you know what? Despite all the I'm still happy with the result because the one thing we haven't seen from this team is character, and they showed a lot of character. And the thing is, as well, is how often can we say that we can go to stadiums like Stamford Bridge and be the better team for most parts, dominate a large part of the game, actually look like Chelsea had to make a tactical substitution after 35 minutes. That's how on top we were. Like, that's a big statement from Man United. That's a big thing. That is progress.
That's a positive, yeah.
Yeah, so we have to accept that. And it's just down to, and I've said this before, coaching can only take you so far.
Quality.
You can't turn turd into gold. Coaching will only take you so far. So Ten Hag's methods has brought us along much further than we would have anticipated by now. After 11 games, we're starting to look like a real team. But if you want to make that step up, then you've got to make some harsh decisions about certain personnel in your team. There's certain areas of the pitch where we need better players. Striker is the critical position at the moment. We probably need another right back, although Dalot played really well, but we need a backup at least a backup. And then we need another creative central midfielder, like a metronome who can control the game, right? Play alongside Casemiro. But with Fred's recent performances, now that we can rest Eriksen, we don't have to rely on him so heavily because of Casemiro. I'm less concerned about the midfield now. That to me is less of a problem. The biggest problem is the number 9 position.
But Mundo, if Casemiro gets injured,
right back.
But Mundo, if Casemiro gets injured, we're back to Fred or McTominay. That's what I'm saying. We don't even have a backup of a natural sitting guy. Man United need 2 more midfielders. A youngster who can sit, who can learn under him. A guy who can learn under Casemiro. We need that. Bumbaye, welcome to the stream. What did you think of that game? I thought that first half an hour, your boy Potter gave us the game. And it was so frustrating to watch. What did you think of it, Bumbaye? Bumbaye, you're on mute.
Evening. Sorry I'm late, guys. Sorry I'm late.
Don't apologise.
What do I think of that game? I thought it was a good game to watch, man. Balanced teams, really engaging. It went back and forth. We had our chances. They had, as well, some good openings, but the defense was beautiful today. Martinez, man, I love him. I love him. What a player. Fantastic. He might not be tall in height, but the man is a giant. Varane again won absolutely everything in the air. Really, really did. I seen it. It was bad straight away, and when he was in tears, this is bad news. So hopefully now the backup guys have to play their part. Then there's nothing you can do. They're not as good, but they have to play their part. Luke Shaw.
Do you think we can play the type of front foot aggressive football with either Lindelof or Maguire?
Yeah, I think we still can. I think Lindelof is better than Varane on the ball, but obviously as a defender, no.
But he's not better than him in the air. He's not better than him in terms of pace. He's not better than him in terms of reading the game. He's not better than him in terms of being aggressive and playing with intensity. So it's like he's only better than him in one thing. 4 or 5 things, he's nowhere even close. The gap is huge. The gap is, in terms of quality, the gap. And actually, when Varane dwells on the ball a bit, he's bad. He dwelled on the ball against Newcastle, dwelled on it. But now, Eric Ten Hag simplified his game. One touch out, the other touch out of his feet. Bang.
Look, I understand.
We don't want to be moaning. Well, talk to me about Casemiro. Talk to me about Casemiro. Let me just get this. I think from game to game, Casemiro is doing better. I'm impressed by his performance on Wednesday. But when you see every game, he's getting better. And I hope he keeps on going in that process, and I will do everything to support him. We've got to listen. It's frustrating, but we have to calm down. It was how many games in 10 days? It's like 4 games in 10 days.
Listen, that's a tough fixture. That's Chelsea away, lads. We gave as good as we got in that fixture.
Listen, But that first half an hour was gift wrapped to us. Do you agree? Yes or no? That was the biggest gift ever. What Potter did, giving us the midfield, giving us the game, basically.
You know, look, he gave us the game, okay. You know, and we took advantage in terms of play. We didn't score though. We didn't score, but you know, before this game, before this last run of Newcastle, Tottenham, Chelsea, you know, 5 points out of a possible 9, with 2 very difficult, tricky fixtures out the way, one of them away. That's not bad going considering where Man United, Eric Ten Hag picked him up from, 7, 8 games ago, or 10 games ago, however many has gone in this league. We're really moving forward. Today, we actually played some really nice passages of play again, against a solid team. And I was just worried, is what we saw at Spurs, are we going to get anything like that? Are we going to regress today? No, the levels were high. You know, you can be proud of the team, I think. To go down as well and to stay in it. And that was like harkening back to the old days, guys. You know, we're going to go for it. I seen Ten Hag on the touchline. So all good signs, performance-wise, which is as important as results for Manchester United in terms of this process. I can't really complain. You know, you can't play Spurs like that maybe every single week, but today it's a different team. It's away, it's a tough team, but you know, the lads go away, they should hold their heads up high, man. We played well.
Mundo, what do you say about Casermiro and its importance to the team already?
It's just levels, isn't it? And the thing is, as well, is it's not just ability. It's not just about ability. It's about attitude and what you know. What I know this is stereotyping, but I love South American players because those guys are warriors. They fight. They leave everything on the pitch.
Passion, bro. Passion.
Martinez, Anthony, and Casemiro. Every game they give you more than 100%. Those 3. They never let you down. Their levels never drop. You know, you might get frustrated with Anthony sometimes, some of the things he does, but you know that he gives you everything, every game. And just by introducing that to the team, now the whole it's infectious. It's spreading to the other players. Now the other players, you know what? We've got to fight as well. Look at what this guy's doing.
I thought Diego Dalot defensively was one of his best games today. I thought.
I agree.
Very dominant.
I agree.
On the Lindelof point, I'm not overly worried about Lindelof in that system. I'll tell you why. Because I think the further away from our box he is, the less concerned I am. Seriously.
He's supposed to be the defender, though. You need to defend in the box.
Yeah, but if the problem with it when we play him and Maguire is we play deep, right? And then what teams do is they pin us, right? They play long balls and physicality. He hasn't got any physicality. But I think because you've got guys like Delors
guys around you now, man. It's changed.
Yeah, he's got Casemiro around him to help him. He's got
Martinez next to him now. Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna mop up. They're gonna help him with the physical side of it. But it's better to do that 10, 20, 15 yards away from your own box. So I'm not overly concerned about him. But Maguire, on the other hand,
this is how I was gonna ask. This is what I was gonna ask. So
if it's Maguire,
good night, Vienna, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a concern, man. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't see Maguire other than Thursday nights. I can't see him playing league games, bro.
Not even Thursday nights.
I think he should go in January, me personally, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think his Man United career is over because his profile fit with the way we want to play football.
I think you know what? Listen, I think it's going to be mad, but I don't know why, but I got a feeling that maybe he might use Juan Bissaka as a centre half, you know, because of his recovery pace. I might think that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is also back on the pitch. So we need everyone, but we also many games to cover. We need a big squad that we can pick players and have a choice. I think honestly, because he's the only centre half, like of all the defenders we've got, who's got goodest recovery pace as Varane. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And anyway, when we used to defend, he was always inside anyway. He was never on the outside.
But it's
What do
like
you
Man City and Man City. I'm not comparing us to Man City and Barcelona. We're not at that level. But you can see with those teams, they could put midfielders in defence because it's not proper. It's not like you're a proper defender. You're supposed to be.
The system.
Yeah,
The
it's just like
system
you've
that
got.
is going to
Yeah, it's
build
the
there,
system.
and
You
then
fit into the
people
system.
should be able to come in and do the job.
Exactly. And
All
Wan-Bissaka,
these players before, we've been moaning because we don't have a system. How many times that come out of mouths of Proctor, of Mundo, of you? We need a
Exactly.
system. This is how Ten Hag was sold to me, and I'm seeing it. When you have a system, bro, it's a lot more seamless than saying, right, go in there and just do, what you can, whatever. There's no system. So I'm going to have some faith in these players because look at Ten Hag is getting a tune out of players we thought were done.
Yeah.
That's the difference that I'm
What's
seeing
your
here
boy
as well.
McTominay doing today? Why is he doing that? How stupid
Nah,
is he?
no,
He's
no,
not a
no,
kid.
bro.
He's not a kid.
Bro, look,
He knows what time it
look.
is in the game. He knows Chelsea on top, getting corner after corner. Why is he doing that?
It was soft.
Oh,
It was
you do
soft as,
anything with the
soft
Colombian
as
player.
shit, that, brother. That was soft as shit, and it happens in football. It's no problem.
But
Scott
how many times
McTominay
in
is
the
an
past has that
important part of
happened
this.
where we've had a decision go against us or players done something really stupid and you thought,
It
oh,
happens,
damn
bro.
it.
We have to take this as part of football, man. It happens. Players do dumb things. Every frigging week you get good players. Look at Darwin Núñez, the shit that he's done recently. Those daft things like that happen, man. But end of the day, what I'm looking for, I'm getting a lot of. I'm seeing performance. I'm seeing improvements everywhere. And this is the whole remit of Ten Hag. If you're going to be our manager, what is it that you're bringing here? Are you able to improve players? Are you able to play good football? Are you able to compete with Tottenham and Chelsea and City and Liverpool and Arsenal? The answers, he's ticking the boxes. And he's doing it with a lot of bullshit as well. Still got this Ronaldo thing going on. We've got some injuries. We need a few players to get some depth into this squad. So it's a good baptism of fire, and he's handling it. He's dealing with it. So we're in good hands. This is all positive. Today was a good day, but losing Varane is big. But we have to understand that this is part of football. Liverpool have got no Jota, have got no Diaz. They're effectively popped. Look at them. They look crap up front. They've got nothing. But this is part of football. So only City have two top players in every single position. Only City. Nobody else.
Luke Shaw's saying here. Luke Shaw, I think at the moment we're really enjoying and that becoming a bit more freer. We can go into more positions and help the team in attack. He carries on and says that like I say, Ten Hag changes the game by game, and sometimes we have to adapt if we're a bit more higher or a bit more lower. Stephen here just makes the comment of the night. Rafael Varane left the pitch in tears. He seriously feels he could be missing what could be his only chance of playing FC Sheriff at Old Trafford. Big up Lee. Lee says we should have won the game in the. Thank you, Lee. Thank you. Big up, bro. Big up, Lee. 100% we should have won that in the first. In the first.
But again, turning a negative to a positive, the heads didn't go down when they were on top. Even after conceding a penalty in the 87th minute, the heads didn't go down, and you've got to give them big respect for that because that is that's for me demonstrates that we're kind of turning the corner because in years gone by that would have been it, would have been game over. But
you saw Ten Hag on the sidelines. Get up there, just go for it, man. How many times did we say we don't go for it? We're going for it. Anyway. Look, I'm getting everything that I want to see in a Man United team, and I'm all right with Lindelof. I'm all right with Wan-Bissaka coming back in. I think these lads have got a role to play. We're going to need all of them this year, and there's still places up for grabs in this team. Right now, it is picking itself a lot of the time. Players are doing well, but competition for Luke Shaw has shown what it can do. Today, what I liked about Luke Shaw's performance, personally, he was getting pissed off. He was putting in a bit of bad fouls, took a yellow card. He was going a bit nuts when we were getting attacked. And this is all what you're talking about. Martinez is rubbing off, the attitude is rubbing off, Casemiro's rubbing off. You need this element of it as well to be a good team. So I'm not worried, bro. I think we've come through this last 3 games in a very good state and in a very good stead to move forward in the season. I'm not too worried at all.
Sammy Jamie Assis says, Nuruddin, you need to buy a striker tomorrow. You need to buy a striker. Tomorrow, Arsenal will be 10 points ahead.
Yeah, well, we got a game in hand.
Who they playing tomorrow?
Southampton away.
I hope you get busted, Sane. I hope you get busted.
I hope Che Adams comes out and busts them up. But you know, this is the first time. I mean, guys, we've got to remember, like, there's only 4 league games ago. We conceded 6 at City. So the way that he's turned it around, you got to take your hats off to the guy, because we could easily have sunk after that. But it's
100%.
absolutely had the opposite effect.
Yeah, exactly. It's all positive, man. I swear, there's nothing.
It frustrates me that he could have changed it and a bit more and gone for it in the last 20 minutes against Newcastle at Old Trafford, where we all know that second half Newcastle didn't want to know, and not to get 3 points and to get 7 points out of those big 3 games would be amazing, and we could have easily done it.
But bro, do you know what? I hear you, but you are playing the better teams in this league now. You're playing direct rivals. Newcastle, don't make no mistake, they're here. They've arrived. Do you know what I mean? They had Maximan out. They had Itzhak out. Could have been a little bit of a different game. When they've got them players, you saw what they did to City. These are 3 difficult games. And to get 5 points out of a possible 9 with having played Chelsea away is a good return. I'm not bothered about Arsenal or City and that. I'm just watching what we're doing, because I know where we've been, where he picked us up from, mentally and in terms of football. And he's addressing the situations. And we're doing all this shit without actually having. We're not a team that plays with a false 9 as our forward. We have to have a proper striker. We don't have that as well. And we're producing what we're producing. So it's good, man. It's very good.
Look at Roy Keane here try to defend Ronaldo, his mate Ronaldo. Flipping at Roy. The guy's only been here for 3 months. And while Ollie, you kept saying, oh, it's the players are letting him down. Roy Keane, tonight obviously got a big decision. He's got to win football matches, but he's not winning enough of them. Man UFC are 5th in the league. Where were we last season, Roy? What are you talking about? Roy Keane, honestly, the length he goes to. Now, this I agree. But behave yourself, Roy. Honestly, behave yourself. Because for the first time, we've got a manager that wants to at least play attacking football. But honestly, some of his comments, he was embarrassing himself there. He's absolutely embarrassing himself there.
You know, he's talking nonsense, because
if Roy Keane is captain and Ronaldo did what he did on that weekend, Mundo, on Wednesday,
he's beating him up in the dressing room.
Ronaldo is coming back on the team with 2 black eyes. I'm telling you now, the next day he's getting 2 black eyes, and none of you can tell me any different.
But this is why I don't. Keane's a dinosaur. You don't know what he's talking about, because what he's failing to understand, right, which is what Oli Bonmaya has been talking about, and what I've said in the past, is it's not just the results; it's the manner of performance. You can see the team developing. That's what he's not acknowledging, right? The reason he's not acknowledging is because the team is developing and looks better without his pad in it, right? And if he accepts that, if he turns around and said, well, actually, yeah, Man United are 5th, but they're what is it, 1 point behind Chelsea. They've played Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, and Chelsea, and they've got a game in hand, right? He didn't say all of that, did he? He didn't put it into context. It's not like when his pal Ollie was in charge and we were nicking games and we were horrendous and we could only put 45 minutes of football together. Back then, he wasn't saying anything about the results, was he? So he's clearly got an agenda, this guy. He's not worth listening to. He is a hypocrite, right? He's a massive hypocrite, because when he played for Man United, he was about the team, and big time Charlies and all the rest of it, right? He called out Ferdinand and all these guys. Well, this Ronaldo's the biggest big time Charlie ever in football. So why is it now you're defending him all of a sudden? And then he's also had a go at Fergie, saying Fergie was never about Man United, it was all about Fergie. Well, isn't all those things you said in the past now applicable to Ronaldo? Yeah, you're defending him. You're a hypocrite, mate. So I don't listen to this nonsense. You know, there's other guys like Gary Neville, right, who are more balanced, right? They are more balanced than Roy Keane. I think Roy Keane still thinks that he's football's like the 90s. Football's developed. Football's moved on.
100%, Mando. 100%. I think you've hit it right in the head. I can't add anything more to that. Guys. For me, when Chelsea matched us in midfield in the second half and changed it, I just thought Bruno was wasteful again today. I thought Eriksen looks wasteful again. He was quite wasteful, man, and it's just frustrating. Like, we didn't make... How many chances did we make in that second half, really? We didn't make that many chances in the second half, did we? And Fred was...
It's a tough game, bro, though. Do you know what I mean?
Stoke, like we said, Fred from Stoke entered the pitch, didn't he? That was Fred from fucking Stoke.
No, but Chelsea played better second half. They pressed more in the second half. They made it more difficult.
Yeah, they could not have played any worse in that first half. And that's where in football, when you're on top, you just take advantage. That's what you have to seize the moment. And exactly what you talked about. Wayne Rooney to this world, all of those other players will realize it and think, right, we need to get goals now. We're on top. We're bullying people. Martinez, for me, man of the match to me today. I don't know.
And I don't recall.
Casermiro, Martinez. Who's your man of the match? Get your man of the match in, guys.
Oh, yeah, man of the match.
I don't even want to do any player rating because I'm too frustrated.
Did Chelsea actually? Was there any time in that game where you felt Chelsea were on top and were going to score? Not really. They were the home team as well. Remember, and that was a lot of that was down to us. I think. I think we played really well today. I feel like part of me feels disappointed because I think that it's a game that was there for the taking. But on the other hand, it's a decent result, and the performance was good.
Listen, Alex, are you with that? It was with Zayn, because I don't know what you're smoking there. Eddie Nketiah.
May as well. Yeah.
Thanks for cheering us up, Alex. Big up, Alex.
Yeah,
Alex really cheered me up there.
Yo, why do you need cheering up, man? I've got a bone.
No,
what's this game
you know why?
on it? No, I'm not having it.
Never dominated a game at the first half an hour in the 35 minutes in a game at Stamford Bridge. We were so dominant. We were too dominant because your boy Potter needed a head wobble. He needed to go and look in the mirror and go, "Oh shit, what am I doing?" It took him half an hour to realize what all of us can realize, that we took their wing backs out of the game, and the two wide guys were not in the game because their wing backs are not in the game, and we were pressing the shit out of them. We should have scored. There is 1-0, 2-0 at least in that first half. 2-0 would not have flattered us whatsoever. That's why I'm disappointed. And like Mundo said before you came on, in games like that, Man United of old, somewhere, Rooney, somewhere, Louis Saha, bang, go.
Yeah, you haven't got them. That's what I'm saying to you right now, yeah. Your frustrations should not be the thing that dominates how you feel. You should be like, you know what? This team, the fact that you're saying we should have done this and could have done that and dominated this, but this is not a donkey team. This is a team. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
I'll ask you a question. Okay? Let me ask you a question, Bombay. What's the effing point having the ball, creating chances, being so dominant if you're not going to go and make it count? What's the point?
Because we don't have the quality.
The point, my friend, is number one, you don't have a striker, and you are dominating games against one of the best teams in the league and one of the stronger teams in world football in Champions League. They're not a donkey team. This is a serious team you're playing against. They got top players everywhere, and they got some depth in that squad. And we went to their ground, and you talk about, I want to see performances. I don't mind losing as long as we play well. Well, today, we went there and we played bloody well and were unlucky to come away with a point. And we went a goal down to a bullshit penalty and came back and got a draw. This is as positive as you can ask for under those circumstances, because we are a work in progress, brother. And the whole world knows this Man United team with a Haaland, a Darwin Núñez, a Harry Kane is a different proposition, because we are starting to make chances. We are starting to press teams in their own box, make the pitch small, suffocate them, retain the ball, and create. But we just not got somebody to finish the shit off. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Martial's always injured. And Rashford, bless him, man. The kid is putting shifts in, but it's just not quite going for him right now. Do you know what I mean? But the man against Liverpool buried it. It was beautiful finishing, efficient, and against Arsenal. So today, I know what you're saying, but it shouldn't overshadow the reality that Manchester United are on the road to recovery with aplomb. That's what I'm saying to you. Be happy.
I don't know about that. I think the
You
manager.
bloody know about that. Do you know what I mean? I know you're emotional and it's fair, but trust me, in the context, we're only just at the beginning of a season. We're not even hit Christmas yet, bro.
You know what?
We're fifth in the game in hand, man.
Let me just get this. Actually, I was one of the people that was saying that I believe in Arteta's coaching methods and that Arsenal will come good if they back him. I did say that. I'm sorry to say to you, Fursers, but I don't know when. Go and quote me. Where did I laugh at Arsenal? I laughed at Arsenal in terms of their position in the league, but I did not laugh at Arteta because they didn't back Arteta. What happens when you back a manager and you believe in his process? But we're not. Arsenal can do it. We can't do it. They're telling us we need a striker, and it's everybody and their nan can see it. The whole world can see. We need a striker that can hold up the ball, can bring our players into play. Rashford is amazing from the left, even though for me, Rashford has improved amazingly well. In that short span of coaching, being coached by Ten Hag, usually, Mundo, he's like absolute offers nothing. But today, I thought Chalobah, amount of time Chalobah came through the back of him, and the referee just looks away.
Yeah, there was
what I will say about Rashford under this manager is,
I'm not being negative. I'm negative in the game. You absolute muppet, Ray J. RJ. Right, I'm negative because we dominated that game and we should have scored in that first half.
Yeah, you just want the team to be a little bit more clinical. But Rashford, to be fair to Rashford, you know,
He played well.
I was one of those people that was saying it's over. I can't see a way back for him, but actually, I've got to eat humble pie. The kids, he's doing well. And the thing is, he's making better decisions. That's the big thing. Usually he gets the ball
Casermiro
and just runs down.
It's true.
Blind
Dark alleys. He usually runs into dark alleys. Yeah, I agree.
And now he's being more
composed,
responsible with the ball.
Yeah,
so I've got to give him that.
Decision making has improved. His decision making on the ball has vastly improved.
Yeah, big time. And you can be critical of him missing chances, but he's getting in the positions though.
True.
You know,
yeah,
he's making the runs. He's getting in the positions. So, you know, some players don't even do that, and he's doing everything but putting the ball into the net.
Yo, big up, Steve. Honestly, you're making us laugh tonight. Casermiro, man of the match, 100%. Yeah, I'm back. Of course. Listen, are you kidding me, Bakata? I wanted Mundo. Can you please tell this guy? Me and you have been talking about Eric Ten Hag. Tell them, Mundo. Just tell them. How long have me and you been talking about Eric Ten Hag?
We've said from, I don't know, going back many years.
2 years, 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, we want a progressive, modern coach who plays progressive football. He goes and get on a training ground, improve our players, etc., etc. And Ten Hag was always a name that we fancied. There was a few others, but he was always one because of his approach to the game. Because that's the way the game's going. But we've always gone for managers on the way down. Now we've got a top manager, guys. We've got a world-class manager here on our hands. We've got
you know what, man?
Actually, whose stock is rising. His stock's not falling; it's rising. It's the first time we've had a manager whose stock is actually on the up.
Who's on the up? Who's on the up? Who's not on the way down?
Listen. Let me answer this one. Let me answer Craig Warby, man.
Because we're fucking owned by the fucking Glazers. That's why, Craig.
No, listen. No, look, bro.
It is. Are you gonna give another answer? It's because we're owned by the fucking Glazers, and they're bastards. I fucking hate them. They know I'm not a hateful person, but I hate them with every inch of my body.
Reach across the screen and put your hand over his mouth, man. Listen, what I'm saying to you is, look, this transfer window, everybody we've signed has been a good signing. And we've let a lot of players go that we don't need anymore as well. It's been a good forward move, this transfer market. A striker is the next thing. But you know what? If we're talking about strikers at the moment now, you don't want to go and do the shit that we've been doing before. Like, okay, we were talking about Arnautovic and these guys. Do you know what? No problem. This is what we're able to produce now against the better teams in the league, and we don't have a striker. Ten Hag knows we need one. The Glazers know we need one. Even the opposing fans know that we need one. And we will get one. But let it be the right one. And I want a striker. I don't want a stopgap anymore. I don't want the club going in the transfer market thinking about guys like Arnautovic. I want them to be now thinking, look, this is what we're producing. We need a striker. Who do we want to get? Who is going to be our guy for the foreseeable future? The guy that is going to be the striker. So let's choose the right one, man.
But I don't
do you know
know
what I mean? And we will get one. We will get a striker.
I don't
But you can't go and get 10. You can't go and spend millions and millions and millions in one transfer market. It just doesn't work like that. We had a good spend this one. We did. And we got some deadwood off the books, freed up some wages, and the Glazers will put their money in again. One thing they do is they do spend. And if they see that this manager is going to be giving us football like this, and the fans are going to be at least happy with that, then it's in their interest to go and give this guy what he wants. Because imagine they don't. Imagine he walked.
Honestly,
impossible.
I genuinely don't know what you're talking about because they spend scattergun way in a scattergun way, and they embarrass us in a transfer.
No, look, listen.
Every sporting director in real football knows, man, you can bend Man United over. This season alone, this summer alone, we spent 77 million overspent. Because why? We should have had how long should we have Anthony? We should have had Anthony when? We should have had him in fucking May. Or at the beginning.
What I'm saying is not that we are savvy.
You said your piece. Let me
listen.
Listen,
No.
right? You said your piece. Let me finish my point. Anthony, we should have had agreed everything, the price and everything. We overpaid Anthony by 35 million. We overpaid on Martinez for 20 million. We've overpaid on Casermiro by what? 15, 20 million again. We've overpaid. That's not me saying this, by the way. That's a sport think tank. There's the organization who are based in Switzerland who calculate
Let me say this to you.
Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point, for fuck's sake, right? We say, and they said they calculate the transfers, and I'll send you the link so you can read it. They're a think tank based in Switzerland, a football fucking organization that calculate transfer windows. And they said Man United overspent 77 million. So don't tell me about the need to spend. The Glazers
let me explain to you this. There's a distinction.
Let me finish. When we're out of fucking Champions League, they spend money. When we're in the Champions League, they don't spend money. And they force.
Listen, we're not in the Champions League. We're not in the Champions League. What did we spend?
No, they only. Mundo, can you explain to him? They only spent because of the Brentford result and because the anti-Glazer fucking protest was going mad. Everybody knows that. Gary Neville knows that. Everybody and their nan knows that except for you.
What I will say,
they were not going to spend the money on Casemiro because we were living with Arnautovic and fucking Rabiot.
Nah, bro, look.
Scattergun fucking approach to transfers. We're not good.
Listen,
it's not a secret. For fucking 10 years, we've wasted $1 billion and a fucking half.
Listen.
On what? On who?
Listen to what I'm saying to you. If you look at the investment in players of the Glazers, they do pump money in players. They don't pump money in stadium and shit like that. I agree with you. The problem that we've got is they just don't spend well. They throw money away, and that has to stop. But I don't really give a shit if they're going to go and spend 70 million and pay Casemiro whatever they're going to pay him if he produces this. I don't care if they're going to spend 15, 20 million on Martinez because Ten Hag, who we believe in, says this is the guy that I want and you have to go and get him and he produces this. I don't care. The problem happens when you get Maguire for 80 million, you get your pants pulled down and you shit and you don't have a system and you don't have anything going for you. Glazers do put money in on players, but they're shit in the transfer market. They overspend and they get the pants pulled down. So I am not worried about a striker as long as he's the right one as long as it's a long-term one, we will buy him. Even if he's 100 million, we will go and purchase him, because we just gave them 70 million for Casermiro, who's 30, and I think he's on about 350,000 a week for 4-year contract. I don't worry about money with Man United investing in players at all.
5-year contract, 5 years.
Right, proving my
It's
point,
shit.
basically.
You know
What I'm saying to you is, we
It's
are
shit.
in the business of throwing money away, so I'm not worried what the striker will cost. If we're producing and this manager is taking his club places, he is solidly embedded there.
Honestly, and you need to do more research.
Let me just say one thing on this, right? You're both right. The truth is somewhere in the middle. I'll tell you why. Because they do spend money, but they don't spend it wisely.
That's what I'm saying.
No, listen.
I can give you 10 billion. I can give you 10 billion, and you're still a fool. You'll be a fool with a fucking 10 billion. You're still gonna be a fool that don't know what the fuck you're doing with 10 billion.
You buy the players for the manager. That's what we're saying. If the manager tells you he wants this guy, buy the player.
1 second. Let me just finish what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is that when you spend as recklessly as they do, right, there is a knock-on effect. Now, what they're saying is, we can't get a striker in January because of the outlay they made in the summer. But they've wasted money in the summer that could have been spent. They would have had that money to spend on a striker because they've overpaid. Because of the way that they've gone about the business, they've overpaid. They've probably spent 70-odd million more than they needed to spend, which they could have had in the kitty. So when you look at teams like Man City, using them as an example, right? They could have they wanted Harry Kane. Their manager said, we want Harry Kane. He's the guy we want, right? Tottenham quoted 150 million. They walked away. And he said, we're not spending 150 million on Harry Kane. And then they went and bought a Terminator for 52 million, right? So it's not just about who the manager wants. It's about, is the deal right? We did it with Sancho, right? They wanted 120 million for Sancho. In fact, that's probably the smartest business we've done, right? That's probably the only time I've commended them in terms of they wanted 120 million. We said, nah, we waited a summer and then we got him for 73 million, right? That's the best bit of business they've done. But moving forward, because this manager, the way that I think this manager operates, how he operated on the Ajax, the way that he works, the way that most modern managers work, Klopp's the same, Pep, Nagelsmann, all of them the same. They just say, we want these players to fit into our system. They leave it to the club to do the negotiating. They don't necessarily say, I want that £150 million player over there, right? Man United, however, because their approach to transfers is not just about getting the right player for the right system, but also how much money can he generate, revenue, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
The focus is in the wrong place. Right? Yes, clubs think along those lines. All clubs have that element of that, but it seems to be dominant in the way we approach the transfer market. That seems to be the primary kind of concern over, is the player the right profile? Not just the right profile for the system, the right mentality for the club. You know, when Ferg used to buy players, if you read his autobiography, his first one. He talks about having a guy from the SAS on his books, mate. He used to go out, watch players, spy on them, see where they do their shopping. Did they go clubbing? Did they have a missus? Did they have a girl on the side? He used to check them out, their character, because it's like, we need the right character to fit into this club. I get the feeling that Ten Hag is of a similar mold, that he wants players with the right character in his team. So that's why I back this guy. But it's going to be, are the club going to allow him to do what he needs to do to get us back to where we need to be, or they're going to continue with the bullshit, which is, and I'm hearing rumours about João Felix for Man United up front. Where's that come from?
Bro, look,
I don't think it's the right profile of striker. So I don't know why we're being linked with this guy.
Bro, look, Manchester United, whether Manchester United like it or not, every single year since time immemorial, it's the same shit. Every player on earth is linked with Man United. Every single season, they just pile loads of garbage, loads of shit. For every 10 reports, maybe one has got some truth in it. We're linked with absolutely everybody. Atik makes a fair point here. I said to you at the start of the year, this is a good transfer window. But we've got a guy that just can't stay fit, and we've got another guy that's just dropping all the time. We had that position sufficient for the year, for the first year. But it's all gone tits up. This just happens in football. Klopp did not expect all these injuries and everybody to lose form. It just happens. Frankie de Jong and Barcelona, I cannot fault the club. We chased that guy for months. We nearly had it, and we're chasing a guy that I sacked it off. I was like, he does not want to play for this club, man.
Exactly.
But to be fair to the club, bro, they were like, this is who Eric Ten Hag wants. It was no secret. That was his man. He has to have his man. Bro, but they took the piss. We were ready to pay, I think, more than it's worth, not only in terms of wages, but in terms of a transfer fee. And then they said, we want another 17 million. They killed us. So then we went and had to get fucked for Casermiro because Real Madrid seen that, and it's a last resort. That's just how the game goes sometimes. You either put your eggs in one basket and go to get the manager what he wants. If it totally fails and it can't happen, at least you have a plan B. It wasn't like De Jong failed like previous season, we can't get it. So I am not worried about a striker. It's just gone a little bit wrong for us in that department.
The reason
we will
why
get
our
a
manager
striker.
wasn't-
And bro, the manager keeps saying it has to be the right player. And I agree. I want to wait. I want to wait. I want to get the striker that is right. I don't want to go
I agree with
rushing
you
now.
100%.
At the end, do you know what I mean? This is it. And I'm not bothered, bro. Don't worry about the money. We paid $500,000 to Sanchez a week. Don't worry about the money. We are playing now great football. Fans are happy. Do you know what I mean? It's in their interest, if they're at all smart, the Glazers, to help this manager
They need
along.
to go.
They're going to spend anyway. Every
They
manager
need to
since
go.
Moyes has been
Glazers need to go.
overspending. Do you know what I'm saying?
The
This
Glazers
No,
looks
only
like
in their
it's
first, only in their first season they've spent, and then it's got gradually they've reduced the spend. And when it's come to the manager's third season, the only person who broke the mold was Ollie, right? They backed him, but other managers prior, Mourinho and
bro.
Moyes, when it came to Moyes even last 3 seasons, but they did spend anything in Moyes' first season. Mourinho, who did he give?
Bro,
him the
remember, listen, Chris, if you hire me and then behind the scenes you're losing faith in me, or you see somebody that you think can do the job better, you're not going to continue to invest in me what I want. Moyes got 50 Fellaini and Mata, which we got ripped off for, but the writing was on the wall after 8 months. Van Gaal came in and spent over 100 million when that was really something. Do you know what I mean? In his first season and in his second season, he spent money. Mourinho came in, got Pogba for 90 million, Mickey for 27, Matic for 40. Yo, this is serious money being spent here, but they fucked up there. Why? They gave a 2-year extension to Mourinho, but by that time they thought, we can't deal with this guy. He wants to sell Paul Pogba. We're not doing that. So we need to get rid of him. But these guys, if you look at what we're spending,
said the same thing though, which is that they haven't necessarily got the players that they wanted. So that's been an issue and that's because of the Glazonomics. The way that they approach transfers is
it's wrong. It's wrong, bro. They look at commerce as a primary and football as a secondary. I understand that. But they do spend money, bro. If you look at what
we
we're
make
spending,
more than most. They spent money because we make more.
Irrespectively, okay, fine. We have money to spend. Then let's say it like this: we have money to spend.
It's not their money. It's not their money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What I'm saying is,
they've not put a penny of their own money in.
Fine. I know that they're parasites, but the point is, whether it's their money or we're generating our own money, the money for players, I can't say we're not spending, we're not buying players. One of our biggest problems is why we sit here and say, scratch our heads, is like, shit, we are spending major money, major wages. We're getting big players and even big managers, and nothing's working.
You know that we have the highest wage football other than PSG.
I know all this, brother.
You know that in the Premier League, 10 of our players have the highest wages in the Premier
I
League.
know this. I know all of this, my friend.
For the past
All of this.
decade,
This is
we've
what,
been doing it for the past decade.
bro.
That's a fucking failure. That's
I
gross.
know it is. Of course it is. Of
But
course it
don't
is.
tell me
But
about the Glazers spend. What do they spend? They spend on wages and they cage footballers. They keep them there and they cage them.
bro,
we need them
look,
out ASAP.
yeah, of course we do. Of course we do. But remember,
world
bro,
football ever.
we do. But we're talking about. I'm making a point here. Striker, we will get the striker that we
They
need.
already told you.
No
They've
matter what
already
it
put it
costs.
out there to their little mercenary journalists that they're not going to spend any money in January.
It might not be in January, bro, but we will get our striker at the end of this year. I think it's a great transfer window to start and go.
My words. If they don't get him a right back, a centre midfield player, and a striker, Man United are not finishing top 4. Facts. And I don't think we're good enough to win the Europa League because we've got too many dickhead injury-prone players. And our medical team needs money spent on it as well. They're neglecting the medical department, injury and rehab department, and as well as the training ground, as well as the stadium.
Look, we're not here to argue. We agree that the Glazers are not the best owners in the world. All I'm saying to you is when it comes to getting a striker, the whole world knows we need one. The manager knows he needs one. The Glazers know we need one. No matter what it costs, if we find one, we will pay him and we will bring him in. And it might not be in January.
No, they wouldn't. But that's
No,
what
they
I'm
will.
trying to
Of
explain
course
to
they
you.
will, bro.
That's why I'm trying to explain to you. When certain managers needed certain things, like we were screaming. Everybody understand none of us wanted Ronaldo. We wanted central midfielders. For the past 6-7 years, Mundo, the fan base and everybody in the fan base, millions across the world, have been screaming out for 6 fucking years for a CDM.
So you're saying that they won't buy a striker?
The past 4 years, we've been giving what? Scott McTominay and Fred, and that's not even their proper positioning. We've been having to swallow pile of shite from these owners. So don't tell me they spend. They spend when it is the right player that can make them fucking money. That's when they spend.
Well, look, what you've got now is the reason we're having this convo now is if we've actually finally got a manager that you and Mundo, that type that you've been screaming out for, and we're looking at this manager and we think, you know what? This is different to anything we've seen in the last 10 years. And this is only like 10 games. This is progressive. He's picked a team up that finished 6th at the bottom of a barrel, and he's brought them back. And we know that Ronaldo, whether they like it on,
he needs help. He needs somebody in that club that helps him in terms of getting him the right players. That's what he needs. So I know we've been linked with guys like, I think I'm not going to buy it, but we've been linked with Van der Sar and these kind of guys. But he does actually need that help because the club are not going to help him. They're not. So they're just going to give. The thing I like about it, I get the impression that this is the kind of manager that you could give him. You can give him a player, he can get something out of him because that's how good he is. But if you want to compete, you've got to get him the right profile of player. You've got to get him the right profile. You've got to have someone within that club.
Well, look, can I ask you a question? I hear you. Who signed the players this year? Are these players that the man wanted?
Majority of them, yeah.
The majority. But he had to go.
Is there any player that we signed? Is there any player that we signed that was that he had to take? Do you think, or that he didn't want? Or is that something we'll have to wait and see?
I'm not sure he wanted Casermiro, but
I don't
Casemiro's
think
worked
he
out
wanted
well.
Casemiro.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we've got Casemiro. I'm happy we got Casemiro. Guys, please smash a like on the video for constantly. There's been over 200 people in the space. Smash a like on the video. The last closing comments. Who's your man of the match, Window?
Man of the match today. I've got to give it to Casa, isn't it? For that header, mate. That just him rescuing us in that way. And he actually had a good game as well. He actually had a very good game. So, and he's been getting better and better progressively. And I think the other thing as well is we've got to take your hat off to his because he's not just a water carrier. You know, there's more to his game. You got to put
I knew that. We all watched him for Real Madrid. We know that he's dangerous in the air. We know he's got a good shot on him, left or right. We already know these things about him. But obviously, these people in the Premier League don't watch Real Madrid that often. We used to watch the Liga all of the time. So we know
what
this
did
thing
you
about
guys
him. But
think?
to me, I just wish.
What did you think when we signed him?
I wish he was 26. I wish he was 27, even 28. I just wish he was 28, 27, 28. Because that would have been
what did you
well
think when we signed him? What did you guys think?
I
when
have
we
to
signed him?
be honest. After his first
I'm
few games, I
concerned.
was a bit
Listen,
concerned.
Real Madrid do not let players who still have it go. But obviously, they've already replaced him with Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and the other guy that they got, the Uruguayan guy they've had for a couple of years there.
Eddie Valverde.
Yeah, they already replaced him, and he wanted a new challenge. He knew the writings on the wall. He knew the writings on the wall. He wants to play, and especially wanted to play for Brazil.
Can't always get what you want. Can't always get what you want, man. You have to have a plan B sometimes.
You know, I'm Man United. I don't get anything I want. I don't get any fucking thing I want. I don't get it. And I'm not at it for 10 years. And you can't tell me anything. The Glazers have spent $1.5 billion on shite.
I know.
Shite.
But they're spending, aren't they? On shit. I know that.
Manchester City spent $1 billion, right? Just under, maybe just $1 billion and a bit. And look at them. They've got player for each position.
Yeah, we're not good at spending. We squander money, brother. I know we throw it away. It's like we're growing it on trees, and it's terrible. And we have nothing to show for it. But the fact that we need a striker, I'm not worried that if we identify, Eric says to him, look, this is the missing piece of the jigsaw puzzle. That's the guy I want. If they're prepared to sanction 70 million and 370 or 350,000 a week for a 30-year-old guy for 4 or 5 years, that there tells me these guys will sign me a striker that my manager wants. Another thing is, who's out there? Who's out there striker-wise?
Listen, let me tell you, there's a guy called Benjamin Sesko. Man United should have bought him at the age of 19.
Yeah, the young kid. They tried to. They tried to.
No, they didn't. They did try to.
No, they did try to. Do you know what happened with him?
He's the next big talent in striker-wise in world football.
I know him. I know him, but bro, he plays.
Let me just answer this guy. Nick Van Dam, we know Valverde isn't. We're saying that what I meant is that those three midfield that they had, that trio, are being replaced. That's why Modric comes off, Cruz comes off, and guess who's there? They all rotate. And at times, he wasn't just a CDM, Casermiro. They all rotated. There were seasons where he was top of the flopping the triangle. He was on top. At times, he would go further, and Cruz was sitting for him. They would do that with him. So we knew about Casemiro's attacking abilities. We knew it if you watched that La Liga football.
We'll get our striker, man. We will get our striker, and he will be the right one, and we will get him.
I like guys like Osimhen at Napoli. Jonathan David at Lille. He's a good striker. He's a good young striker, good profile.
Do you know what I'm saying to you is, before Man United would think, you know what, Andy Cole, top quality, grip him. Dwight York kills it, grip him. Ruud van Nistelrooy, grip him. Right now, you look at world football striker-wise. There are some names out there that you think, yeah, but it's not a Ruud van Nistelrooy. It's not a Haaland. You're not getting anything like that. That's what I mean when I ask you who's out there. Yeah, there are names that are making a reputation.
We don't necessarily need that right now. At this stage of our progress, we don't necessarily need that. We need somebody who can play the number 9. Who can knit
what do you mean?
Together, who can contribute 20 goals.
Mundo, do you see, by the way,
look, what I'm saying.
Alex is an Arsenal fan, and he said Nketiah would have done bits for money. No crap. Listen, Nketiah might be a good player, a good young player. He's improving in Arsenal, and I wish him nothing but the best. It's not the answer to all our questions. To me, is there anybody, Mundo, better than Benjamin Sesko for me at his age? I don't think there is. I don't personally. Unless I'm not watching enough. In the next show, you can tell us, people. You can tell us who are your top strikers. But for me, that kid has got the talent, abundance of talent, incredible levels of talent, composure on the ball, passing wise. You know what? I'm almost screaming that I would have even bought the guy from West Ham. I wanted him, Scamacca. I would have took Scamacca.
Yeah, Scamacca. Yeah, that's the guy. Scamacca. I was thinking he's a good player. I couldn't believe he ended up. I know PSG
million. Instead of wasting 77 million, we could have bought him for 37 million. Scamacca. We could have bought him. But guys,
him and that Raspadori guy. You know, Raspadori was his strike partner. He's gone to Napoli. They're both doing bits this season. Those two. Yeah. So there are players out there. There might not be household names. There might not be superstars like Harry Kane. But there are players out there that can come in and make our team better. Definitely.
There are, and you're going to use this year, bro. to pick the right one, to get the right one.
Listen, 100%. But for me, I think Man United should have gone all in for Benjamin. That's my opinion. They don't mean anybody else is not correct.
You know, can I just tell you? Look, do you know
I rate that
what
kid.
happened with that
I think he's
transfer?
the next big thing. Me personally.
Bro, we tried to get him. Do you know what happened with him, Nuruddin? He's owned by Red Bull Salzburg, who are the sister club of Leipzig. Leipzig bought him from Salzburg and loaned him back because they're thinking, we know what we've got here. There's no way we're going to let Man United take him for 17 million. We're going to sell this guy on. It's going to be a Haaland job.
You know what?
maybe.
His agent came out and they wanted at least 40-something million. And I think he was worth it. Me personally, I think he's worth it. Well, we're buying Fred for 50 million. Benjamin Sesko for 40-something million is no-brainer. No-brainer. Absolute no-brainer.
Well, look, I don't know about no-brainer.
Guess what? I'm telling you now, if they would have kept Ranić in part of it, helped Ten Hag, we would have got him. And promise you now, we would have got him.
Maybe.
We would have got him.
What's happening with Sancho, boys?
Isle of Shite. He needs competition on that left-hand side.
But you know what? Let's have faith in him. You know, he's a very talented footballer.
Listen to me. I thought, I was at the game on Wednesday. That was his best game off the ball. I thought off the ball, he worked so hard. And I always want basics.
They did. Him and Anthony worked hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Because the basics for me, the rest will come. That's the biggest thing in football. When you do the basics right, the rest will come. But today, I thought he just looks like he didn't want to be there.
Bro, I was getting vexed. Like, you guys know him. I don't know this player, yeah. I heard he's tearing things up. I heard he's tearing things up. So it was like, we need Sancho. And I thought, sweet, let's see what we've bought here. Man, he is not on. He is the odd one out at the moment. I'm telling you. He's got to sort that shit out, man.
Yeah, he's a big talent. And the thing is, he's still young. You know,
lads, you got to understand something. Yeah, when you come into Manchester United from Austrian League, playing for the best team there, no doubt he's talented at international level as well. He's done well. But when you're coming as an 18-year-old to Manchester United to be the main striker,
it's a big ask. It is a big ask.
It's a big ask. Big ask. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There is an element there that you think, is this too much? It's a big ask, man. So that's not the answer. I'm not saying you couldn't buy him and, you know what I mean, give him game time. He might be the answer.
Even if we did sign him,
you could get another one.
Yeah, I think we would have. He's the kind of guy you would sign, and then you would loan him out or let him stay at the selling club, right, to develop, and then you bring him in.
Yeah, of course.
And then you get somebody else.
I agree with you. Do you know what, man? I said to you this. I was shocked at the Spurs performance. I did not see anything like that coming, and today's performance is really relieving, even more than Spurs, because it wasn't just a magic trick that came out. It wasn't just a Kinder surprise. It seems like this is it. Here we go. So I think we are going to start to see and learn a little bit more under the tutorship of Ten Hag's coaching and system and philosophy and mentality of players that we already think we know and we were either have give up on or think they're not quite good enough. We've got Donny van der Beek that needs to maybe have his run out. I think we'll see, players improve still. Fred, McTominay, Luke Shaw's looking really nice. Wan-Bissaka, like Dino said, you know what? He's not going anywhere. They're not going to sell him for 20 million. He will have maybe his role to play in this team. Delo, I had given up on Delo completely. He looks like he was brilliant today.
Yeah, listen, 100%. Nkunku's already signed a pre-contract with Chelsea, apparently, so he's not going to come to Man United. Would you agree with these guys? Would you take Danny Fringen in? He's too injury prone. I would take him, but he's
no point. Too injury prone. We need to move away from that. He's too much injury prone. Forget that. Ivan Toney, what do you think of him?
Any players who are injury prone, that's the last thing I want to see at Man United. The first thing I'm going to check before I buy anybody is how often do you get. I had doubts about Varane because of his injury fucking proneness. And that's why Real Madrid let him go.
sad that today, man. Really horrible to watch him. You know what I mean? He was pissed off. He's just found his feet. He's flying. He's starting
He
to
was
show us
playing
what we.
amazing. He was playing
Yeah, man.
fantastic.
Again
me,
today, bro.
I don't for that ball. I don't think he should have gone for that ball. He should not have.
Bro, he's a defender, man. He's got to go for that ball. He's
Yeah,
jarred the knee.
And in Ten Hag's system as well, it's like there is a reliance on your centre backs to cover those wide
He's
areas.
perfect, Mundo. He's perfect.
Yeah, because he's got the pace to get out there. That's why he's so good in the system.
The aggression, Mundo. The determination, the headering ability. Listen, big up to every one of you. I apologize if I'm screaming and shouting, but don't ever trigger me about Glazer talk, about Glazer spending money. Don't ever fucking trigger me, because I'll go. I'm a madman. I am a madman. I hate those bastards. I hate them to death. I want them out of this football club, because we're never gonna win or compete for big trophies with these dickheads in charge. I'll take anybody but these dickheads.
Yo, singles that Glazer out tune, man.
I'm not taking the fucking Saudis.
Singles out with the Glazer tune.
No. Glazers,
come on, man.
Out. Win, lose or draw, Glazers out. I don't wish death on them. I just want them to leave my football club alone. That's what I want. I don't rate I don't. But if Ten Hag thinks he can do something with him, then I'll back Ten Hag. But I don't.
He's not a striker. He's not a striker, man.
And you know what? We're not getting Ivan Toney, because they'll want 80 million. They'll want fucking 80 million.
What do you think of Ivan Toney, boys? Seriously, what do you think of it? I think he should be going to the World Cup, personally.
I think he should be. But whether or not he's good enough, I'm not sure. Is he good enough to make the step up to play Champions League football? And
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. We're talking about, you are saying to somebody, welcome to the biggest, one of the biggest clubs on earth here. A club that is going to be, in the next couple of years, hoping to challenge for the league and the Champions League. You will be the starting striker every single week. Good luck. That's what we're effectively hoping to buy here. Or something along those lines. We're not buying somebody to say to me, you chill out, don't worry. There's other guys that do the job. You come in and get us a cup. We're saying to him, we're looking for 20 goals a season in the Premier League. Can you deliver that in red, wearing 9 or 10? That's what we're saying. It's not a joke. It's a serious set of shoes you're stepping into. So we need to get it right, because we've got it wrong a lot.
Alex, it says Man United need real Nelson on the wing. They should come in for him. He's clear of Scamaccio. He's like a Scamcho, yeah? When Scamcho bullies you at the Emirates, yeah? This season, I'll be coming for you. Remember that. I'll be coming for you, man. Because like the way he did last season, he made your fullbacks like they were like dogs. He took them for a walk, mate. He took them for a walk. What's that guy called Cedric? He was taking him for a walk on the regular last season. Remember that.
I like this. I'm liking this energy though from Mr. Structure, mate. Ten Hag is behind us now. Give it large, Dino. Give it large, man.
I can't give it large, man. I can't, because we fucking got the Glazers. If we had any regular owners, everybody. Trust me on this one. If we didn't have the Glazers, we had proper owners with a proper football structure, I'll be giving it to everybody. But I can't give it. I can't, because I know that we've got guys who will play against us every week.
Guys, the only thing that is the thing that is keeping us relatively sane is that we've got a bad boy manager. That's the only thing. But a good manager, a top manager, as you can see with Klopp this season at Liverpool, they only take you so far, mate. If the owners don't put their hands in the pocket, I know Oli Meyer said that they have, but in terms of spending the money on the right players at the right time as well, the timing as well.
I agree with you, bro.
In January, we can't afford to wait until the end of the season. We need to spend it in January.
Exactly.
Why wait? We're in January. We're on the up. We've got a chance. Get us to strike.
Back him. If you want to finish fourth, back him.
Yeah.
Back him.
Yo, what's this nonsense? Rashford needs to be sold. Sit down about Rashford needs to be sold.
But it's just, I don't know. Some people have a natural hate against him, honestly. I don't understand.
This guy, mate, is form went down, but this guy is a very important piece of Manchester United, whether he's starting or coming on end of, man. Do you know what I mean? He's been asked to do a job he's not designed to do, and for me, he's doing his part, man. He busted it up at Liverpool. He'd done the job in Arsenal. Okay. Had the chance at Newcastle. It wasn't, he missed it. Shit happens. That's life. I seen Haaland sky one from an open goal against Bournemouth. It happens. but the chances are coming. We're creating.
There might
This
come
is
a
the most
point.
So
important thing.
frustrating because
There
you know
might
what?
come a
Chelsea,
point
we
when
let
the teams
Chelsea
are
off the
old.
hook today. We let Chelsea off the hook today. We let them off the hook, and they know it, and they better know it because we let them off the hook today. But anyway, guys, please smash a like on the video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'm hungry. Me all losing my head and Boombaye triggering me. Don't you ever dare trigger me again about the Glazer talk. They need to leave. That's the only way we get back to being a football club. We're not a football club. We're not run like a football club. It's clear to see. And more than anything, we need them to go when Ten Hag is in charge. Because with decent owners, this guy might be able to get us competing for the big trophies again. Go on, Mundo, last shout. Casermiro for the rescue, yeah? Big up Casermiro, yeah?
Yeah, Casemiro, mate, Casemiro. But yeah, look, these managers that Bayern Munich, Man City, Liverpool, we're talking about him winning things. We're talking about him being up there. But he's at Man United, so if he gets us even competitive, that's a miracle, given all the issues we've got behind the scenes. But so far, so good. We can't get carried away. But
Yeah,
again, it's about the board. They've got to back this guy. For the first time since Fergie, we're actually starting to see something. We're starting to see something that's positive, something that the fans can get behind. If they let us down again, I know your mind's made up on them, and you think it's inevitable, it will happen. But let's just see where we go. But you're right. We need to get rid of them. We absolutely need to get rid of those leeches. Absolutely, because there will still be, even though if the manager does anything positive, it will be despite them, not because of them.
100%. Boombaye, you got the last word. Last word of the show.
do you know what? The low big up, Casemiro, really nice. I'll go for that man of the match. And I just say, man, you know what? Long may this continue. Just keep working, keep going. We know what we need. Hopefully we will get what we need. And I haven't got any complaints at the moment. I'm contented. I'm interested. I'm engaged. And I'm looking forward.
Big up. Big up. Big up everybody. Big up every one of you in the comments, even the Arsenal fans. Big up man like Alex with the banner. Big up Steve. Big up to every one of you all. Haroon, Cristiano Splash, Yamika, Ray J. Big up to every one of you. Apologies if I lose the plot sometimes, but that's just the way I am, and I'm never going to change. So it is what it is. When I get triggered because I hate them so much, because I don't think you guys understand what they've done to our football club, what they have done to our football club. We should know. We should only be out of the big trophies, competing for the big trophy, 2 to 3 seasons at the most.
Bro,
we should never be out of 10 years. We should never been out of 10 years. It is because of them. But anyway, win, lose, draw.
Is that a Europa League trophy?
Is that a
Europa League? Is that Europa League trophy behind you on the left?
No.
Are you sure?
All league titles, mate. 13 league titles, mate. Thank you. Thank you. I never want to come Man United competing for a Mickey Mouse trophy like the League Cup or the snide bloody Europa League. I hate that League Cup. I hate it with every bone in my body. I can't stand that. I feel embarrassed and I'm ashamed to even talk about that. And I'm telling you now, Therapy Army, if you think if Man United ever go, if they don't back him and somehow we end up in the conference, never. I am never covering conference games, Europa conference games in my life. I'm telling you, never. It's never happening. Never happening. But
me and Mundo will do a shift for you, man. Don't worry.
No chance. You could do what you want, guys. I'm not even sending you the logins for this channel. No chance. Win, lose or draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Disappointing, but happy for Casemiro, man. What an absolute warrior. What a header. And we need more of that. Big up to every one of you, man. Love. Take care. Glazers out, bankers out, always. See you in the next.
Bye, guys. Oh, boys.